Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at 4 brand new figures from Space Age Design. Now these are fan designed figures that are made to look like sort of vintage Star Wars figures, but these are sold under the Space Wizards banner. And when I say fan made, these are actually produced in a factory, so they're fan designed and fan made, but they are factory produced, and each one comes on its own nicely designed card. So today we are going to check out each of these new figures. We'll take a good look at the cards. We are also going to open them up as well, because I want to see what these figures look like in hand. So let's get on with the video and start reviewing. Right, so let's get started. As you can see, these are 4 brand new figures, and these have been sculpted from scratch. They're not using any sort of existing parts of Astromech Droids, and these are all R6 Astromech Droids. At the back there we have R6A5 orange bar. On the right we have R6 IMP2 red bar. At the front here we have R6M1 blue bar, and on the right we have R6K30 white bar. Now these are the first 4 figures in what is hoped to be a sort of big wave of figures from Space Age Design. I've been watching his Instagram site closely, and he keeps posting images of all the things that he has planned, and he's very kindly sent these over so that I can take a look at them. Each one comes on its own custom designed card, which does have a sort of nod to Star Wars on it in the way the card is designed, but as you can see at the top, these are called Space Wizards, and I really like the images that come on these cards. It reminds me a lot of some of the sort of foreign releases of the Star Wars action figures. So on R6A5 you can see the droid has certainly been in the wars. He's fallen into some sand there, and there's a bit of action going on behind him. The R6 Imp2 droid, you can see it's clearly meant to be an Imperial droid. There's Imperial figures lined up in the background. We have the R6M1 droid here, which is the blue bar, again hiding away from something going on in the background. And then finally here we have the R6K30 white bar version. Again, there's something going on in the background, some spaceships taking off, and another droid there clearly walking off with a little bit of cargo. On the backs of the cards there's a lot of information about them, a little sort of backstory about each figure, and also images of some of the future figures that Space Age Design hope to produce. So you can see there's a whole load of different droids and other spaceships that they sort of have plans for. At the moment these are just computer renderings of what might come, but it would be nice if they do get to produce all of these. Each card as well, as you can see, is numbered with a little holographic sticker. Let me pick up another card so you can see the different story on the back of it. These stories are sort of really nicely written as well. It just gives you that little bit of extra detail about the character, and I want to say these are like sort of expanded universe stories. So these are figures that appear slightly outside the Star Wars world, but they do sort of fit in because of the way they look. So let's take a closer look at one of the figures. I'm going to pick up R6M1 here, and you can see this is what the figure looks like. So this is not a sort of recast of an original Star Wars figure. This has all been redesigned. Apparently the clicker inside has been redesigned as well, so it's a much more sturdy clicker, and you can see that it does look really rather nice on the card. The sticker as well is lovely and fresh and lovely and clear, and you can see the bar on the side is coloured in, and this is sort of homage to the red bar version of the R5D4 figure. In fact, that's why all of these have orange bar or red bar under their names. This one has a blue bar. It's just that sort of little homage to a vintage Star Wars figure. Now at the moment you can only get these figures on card, so that is what has been sent to me here, but I did promise that I would actually open these all up, because I like to see what these figures look like, and you can't really tell just from looking at a figure on a card. It does look really nice like this, but I actually want to sort of feel it in hand and be able to move it about. So let's open up all of these cards and get the figures out and see what they look like in hand. And they are now released from their packaging, and I have to say in hand they do feel really nice. The clicker on the head is a really nice sound. If I turn that, you can just about hear that. In fact, I'm going to put that next to my microphone so you can hear it properly. As you can see, that's quite a satisfying sound. The construction of these is certainly different to how the original ones were constructed. I can see on the bottom of the feet, these are not a solid piece of plastic. It looks like there's been an extra piece inserted in on the foot there, so the bottom of the foot is slightly different. Inside the body, you can see that it says SAD, so that is Space Age Design's little bit of copyright information. And I can see there is also no screw hole in there, so this must all just clip together, which is quite interesting, because I was sort of hoping to be able to take one of these apart, but I don't think I will be able to do it. But anyway, It's a really nice figure. It feels a little bit lighter than a sort of vintage Star Wars figure. I'll get a vintage figure out in a minute so that we can actually sort of compare them. But the overall look of these is very nice indeed. The quality of the sculpting and the quality of the production is really very high. It's really nice quality plastic. I believe it is ABS plastic. The sticker has been applied very, very neatly. And as you can see, it's a fairly shiny sticker. And all the paint application is really neatly done. Even all of the sort of panels on the top, there's no sort of bleed on them. It's very well applied. So that's the first figure. That is R6A5. This is R6M1, which is the same colour plastic as the first one, just with some blue detailing on him and a little red eye there. And the sticker has been changed as well. This has the same articulation as the vintage R2D2. So you can rotate the head there and you can rotate his legs around. A very sort of limited amount of articulation, but that's all you needed for the R2D2. So yeah, for R6, that is absolutely perfect as well. We then have R6K30. So this is a nice black version. I do like black versions of droids. I think they look particularly cool. I've got some of the Stan Solo ones that are made in black plastic as well. They just look really nice, especially with this sort of extra bit of silver paint on there. They just look properly like Imperial droids. So I'm always pleased to get another black droid to add to my collection. But yeah, that one looks very nice indeed. And then finally we have R6IMP2, which is a sort of, I would say sort of muted blue coloured droid with red detailing and a little green eye there. Again, he looks really nice. I think on this one as well, the colour matching between the sticker and the plastic is particularly good. Often when you try to colour match stickers to plastic, there will be a sort of really obvious difference, but this one is a very good colour match. So those are the 4 droids out of the package, and I have to say they are really nice. They feel really nice as well. But let me go and get an original R2D2 and an R5D4 and we'll see what they look like together. Here we have my original R2D2 and R5D4, and as you can see, the new R6 droids sit really nicely with them. The vintage figures do feel a little bit heavier than these modern R6 droids. I think that's possibly just the way they have been constructed. As I mentioned, the legs on the R6 droids look like they are hollow with a piece stuck in, and they don't have the screw inside to hold the head on. Other than that though, they really do feel and look like vintage Star Wars figures. When you buy these figures, as well as the cool cards that they come on, they also come in some custom designed packaging, which will be themed around each of the waves of the figures. So these ones come in a really nice R6 themed box. Unfortunately, when these were sent to me, the boxes weren't ready, so I just received them in a normal packing container. But when you buy them, you will get this lovely box as well. And there we go, that is it for my review of these new R6 Astromech droids from Space Age Design, the Space Wizards. I'm always amazed at the skill and the ability of the fans out there, and the quality of these are absolutely fantastic. These are factory produced, but they are all designed and sort of made by one man. So it really is a major piece of work, and I'm really excited to see what other figures will be produced by Space Age Design in the future. I'm going to be checking back in with them regularly to see what is in production. If you want to grab some of these for yourself, then do follow the links in the description. I do need to say a massive thank you to Joshua from Space Age Design for very kindly sending these over for me to review. It's lovely to see what is being produced, and as I say, these are really fantastic figures, and they will sit really nicely with your vintage Kenner Star Wars figures, so I would highly recommend going and grabbing some. So hopefully this video has been of interest to you. If it has, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And if you'd like to help me out here at toy-polloi, then why not think about becoming a patron of the channel. You get early access to all of my restoration videos, plus access to an exclusive video series called On the Cutting Mat, where I show projects and restorations that you won't see anywhere else. So have a think about that, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos.